Hello, I am Wesley Foreman, and I'd like to welcome you to another episode of Cooking for the Yum of It. Today I have prepared this fantastic focaccia bread with some oil dipping sauce. If you want to see how it's made, you gotta watch the episode. Because this is going to be a fantastic journey. Let's get started. The first thing we're going to do excuse me, is get out 4 cups of flour. Now, I don't remember why I originally saw this, but when you're doing flour is not brown sugar. You do not want it densely packed. So what you do is you take 1 measuring cup and you put the flour from it into the other. That way the flour isn't densely packed. We'll level that off so that the flour, the bread that you're making, doesn't come out super dense and tough and chewy. You want it light and breezy. So this is the best way to put the flour in there. I don't remember, I saw this somewhere years ago. I don't remember where. But it's a good idea, I think. I've been doing it this way ever since. Okay, that was 2 cups. There we go with 3. And finally, make sure. I'm still learning about this new camera I'm using. So, okay, and that's 4. Now we add 2 teaspoons of salt, which we're going to use our whisk to make sure that it is well blended in with the flour. And we'll set this aside for now. Now we're going to take 2 teaspoons of instant dry yeast and 1 teaspoon of Splenda. Now the recipe calls for sugar, but I don't have any actual real sugar in my home, so I'm going to substitute the Splenda and hope that it all turns out well. Now we take 1½ cups of tap water and add to that another ½ cup of boiling hot water. And we add that to our yeast and Splenda. We stir this around. And observe very carefully. Oh, some of the I have to admit, when I first checked out this recipe and I read about the yeast, my first thought was that one scene from an old episode of I Love Lucy where she and Ethel bake a loaf of bread that just comes out of the oven like this huge log of bread. Now we need to watch until we start to see the bubbles from the... This may take some time. I've never cooked with yeast before. Let's keep stirring a little here. So there are a few little clumps of yeast that didn't quite get Okay. Get my spatula ready because I'm going to need it soon. Now let's just jump ahead. Okay, we have our bubbles now. So let's switch bowls around. And we're going to pour our yeasty water into our flour and salt mixture. And we're going to combine that using our spatula. Now this is going to be a very sticky dough, and you want to make sure you blend well and that none of it is left on the bottom of the bowl. Look at that. I'm sorry if my arm bumps up against the camera. Got some on my thumb there. See, there's still some there. This is not as easy as I thought it would be, but then nothing worth having ever really is. All I know for certain is this is going to be so good. I love focaccia bread. Okay, now let's get that in there so we don't waste any. Now you're going to, let me open this here, drizzle the top of this with 4 tablespoons of olive oil. That's 2, 3, and 1 makes 4. Next, we take our plastic wrap and make sure to get, try to get an airtight seal. Oops, not quite. A little bit more. And now we're going to put this in the refrigerator for about 10 to 12 hours until it is tripled in size. So I will see you in about 10 hours. And here we are, excuse me, 11 hours later, and my God, take a look at that, see how big it's gotten. Now, the next thing, we're going to set this aside for a second. What we're going to do next is take, okay, hold on, what does it say here? This is the first time, so we're going to take about 2, maybe 3 tablespoons, some more of our extra virgin olive oil, and put it in our little baking dish here. And we're going to spread that all around, even up the sides. You can also put in, if you want to, I didn't want to, but if you want to, you can put some baking paper, parchment paper on the bottom of your pan, but you still need to oil it. And don't worry about getting your hands oily because they're going to get even oilier in just a minute. Okay. Okay, now let me take care of this here. What we're going to do is now pour some oil on our hands There's a reason for this, you'll see in just a minute. It's supposed to keep, according to the recipe, the dough from sticking to our hands. Okay. Now we take, ooh, look at that. Actually, can you see it? Oh, look how big and fluffy my dough is. Okay. Oh, look at that. This is going to be, sorry about that. It's going to be so, now we're going to spread this out to fit our baking dish. I may have put a little bit too much olive oil when I did the drizzling earlier, but I'm not going to worry about that because, as Julia says, if it tastes good, you made no mistakes, so don't apologize. Until after people take, I suppose, their first bite and spit it out because it tastes so horrible. But no, we're not going to worry about that until later. Ooh, this is kind of cold actually. My hands are getting freezing. Okay, see? And the dough did not stick to my hands. Now, wipe my hands off again. We're going to let this, first we need to get some more of our plastic wrap. And we're going to cover our dough. Make sure you cover as much as you can. Now we're going to set this aside for about, well, how much does it say? About 2 to 4 hours until it comes to room temperature. And then we'll begin our next phase. Okay, it is now nearly time to put the bread in the oven. So we're going to be getting our next part taken care of. We'll move this aside for now. Excuse my arm. What we're going to need now is to do the topping. And for that we're going to use 2 sprigs of fresh rosemary. You take it like this and just take off the leaves. And oh, this smells good. I like the smell of rosemary. Make sure the leaves are all separated because even master chefs, I'm sure, sometimes get rosemary sprigs that are uncooperative. Okay. Now let me just... Sorry about that, there was a little distraction, but it's taken care of. Okay, that's just about done there. Oh, here's one that I missed. Okay. Oh, There's another one. Tricky. Sneaky little things, aren't they? Okay. An excellent aroma, if I do say. Now, let's bring this back over here. Oh my, look at that. It's gotten even bigger than it was before. So what we do now is we're going to get our fingers oily. Let me show you here. We only really need to do our fingers for this. And now we dimple our bread by poking the top, which is a phrase I'd never thought I'd hear myself say. This is sort of like with the Pillsbury Doughboy. No copyright infringement intended. Wipe off our hands. We drizzle a little bit more olive oil. And we sprinkle our fresh rosemary over the bread. Now we take a pinch or two of sea salt. Now the recipe calls for flaky, but I wasn't able to find that, so I'm using ground sea salt. If you can find flaky, use it, but if not, don't worry. It's not going to be the end of the world to use regular sea salt. And now we just wait for the oven to come up to 425 degrees Fahrenheit. And now the oven is at 425 degrees Fahrenheit. So, first I have to speak with my roommates about not leaving something in the oven if they're not going to be here to use it. But now, before then, this will be going into the oven at 425 for 25 minutes. Whew. Now while the bread is baking, this will be a good opportunity to work to make the bread dipping oil, which is something essential for some good focaccia. First we're going to use 7 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And notice I am using my food processor for this. Interesting thing, Julia Child had a very belief that I share with her that the food processor is one of the greatest inventions to ever of the modern age. In fact, she divided the time up before she referred to as BTFP, before the food processor, and all the time after as, ATFP, after the food processor. My hands are still a little oily, and I'm having trouble getting the bottle for the next ingredient open. We're going to need some balsamic vinegar. Okay, there we go. And that is going to require 1 tablespoon, just one, of balsamic vinegar. Our next ingredient is 1/3 cup each of green olives and kalmata. Just put those in there. Followed by 1/2 teaspoon of dried oregano. One moment, please. It's right there in front of me the whole time. Okay. Ooh. Next, I put my rosemary away too soon because I need one more sprig of it. This one it won't matter so much if the rosemary leaves don't all come off in individual leaves because it's going to be run through the food processor. I'll buy 1 small handful of fresh parsley and 4 basil leaves. This smells, fresh basil smells just fantastic. 3, 4. 1 clove or 1/2 teaspoon of minced garlic, although you can also mince the garlic by hand. I'd like to thank my friends in the Sacramento Gay Men's Chorus once again, and whoever my Secret Santa was 2 years ago that got me the garlic press, but I've been using the jarred garlic because I use garlic so much. Okay. Now I need... We're going to take not that much. We just need 1 pinch. Although if you like your red pepper flakes, feel free to add as much as you want. I don't like too many. I like a little kick, but not enough that's going to kick me to the curb or whatever. Now we need some more. Another pinch of our salt. And okay, that's it. Put the lid on and we puree. Now, this is what it looks like so far. I could use a little bit more pureeing, which is what I'll do. I think that's pretty good. So what we're going to do now is transfer this to a bowl for serving. So shake the excess off the food processor blade, and we just take our little spatula here and scrape out with our spatula into our bowl. Now we just need to wait for the bread to finish, which is going to be in about 10 more minutes. In the meantime, I am certainly using a lot of the plastic wrap today. We're going to cover this with some plastic wrap. And be back in about 10 minutes. And now it has been 25 minutes. And there she is. Ooh, just making sure. Yeah. Oh, perfect. Turn off the oven, because to leave your oven on is very unsafe. And now we're going to let this cool, or rest as it's called, for, let me see, I haven't got the recipe memorized yet, so I have to keep consulting the, okay, we're going to let this rest for 10 minutes, and then we're going to go get something to eat. Okay, 10 minutes have come and gone. It's time to remove this wonderful focaccia. Oh. I may not have put in enough oil. We'll soon find out. But you want to run your knife along the edge to help get it out. Just right along the edge or the rim or whatever you want to call it. I definitely should have added either more oil or some non-stick spray. Oh well, as long as it tastes good, that's all that really matters. Oh, there we go. Wash my hand. Yeah, definitely next time, because I don't care how difficult it is to get out of the pan right now. It smells utterly amazing. So, and you can usually tell how good something will taste by how well it smells. So next time, definitely going to use some non-stick spray. Oh, there we go. This may actually come apart. It seems so... Whee! There we go. Not much stuck to the bottom, but instead of non-stick spray, maybe I'll use the parchment paper. I don't know yet. Still so much. Oh, excuse that. Now we get our bread knife and we portion this out into 8 more or less equal pieces. That's 2. 3. Four. Might help if I do it this way. Eight. Now I'm ready for dinner. And here we go, my favorite part of every episode. A bit of bread. Another dipping oil here. Mmm. Mmm. Oh, this is fantastic. I truly know now what is meant by that passage from the Rubaiyat of Omar Khayyam, which says, a loaf of bread, a jug of wine, and thou. Anyway, that's my episode for today. I hope you enjoyed watching it, and I hope you get a chance to try making this yourself someday. Until next time, please remember, like if you liked, subscribe if you haven't, and feel free to comment down below. I am Wesley Foreman, and always remember, eat and enjoy.